You said that all your problems are caused by Grandpa.
Pretty much.
I guess that means all my problems are caused by you.
How was it knowing that the show was going to be renewed for a second season? It must have felt incredible.
Oh my God, yeah, that was the best news ever. The strike had just happened. I re-enrolled back in school because I was like, oh my God, like this is getting crazy. And then I got the call that season 2 got picked up, and I dropped out of school immediately. Yeah, it was exciting. I'm just glad to be back. I love the show, and I love the cast, and yeah, here we are.
Obviously, you have to prep a lot for the show being so emotional. I wanted to know, like, do you have a special process, or are you able to just kind of like jump into it?
Yeah, I mean the process is just in the crafting and the script, in the work. It's just creating the history and the relationship between the characters, and you know it's not like I'm watching like sad videos in my trailer and stuff. I know a lot of actors that do that, but I think a lot of the greatest work just comes from just being in the moment, just being present, being attentive with your scene partner. That's what acting is, action and reaction. So
Without spoiling anything really, but what was a moment that you can recall from shooting?
there's a lot. No, it's not really hard. It's just I have one. I don't think I can say it. Let me think. A lot of my favorite moments were with Delroy, though. I'll tell you that much. A lot of my favorite scenes were with Edwin, and that's because he's doing new things this season. He is doing very crazy things, and well, for Finn, and so him and he's of course he's doing it with Edwin because he's finally learning what it's like to live life from a man's perspective rather than his mother's that he's had to grow up with his whole life. So um, all of my favorite scenes are definitely with Edwin because we get to do some pretty like adventurous stuff. So
What do you find most interesting about Unprisoned? Like, what really drew you to even be a part of this project?
I mean, I was just like, even when I was reading the script, like it's just funny because like usually when I read the script, I'm in actor mode. I'm like, what's going on here? What's happening here? But reading Unprisoned, I was just so lost in the drama. I was just so captivated by it. I felt like I was reading it. I was just reading it as a fan by that point.
What I'm doing in my family is something called detachment.
Attachment? Really?
We're fine. I'm fine.
Season 2, it must be so exciting playing little Paige. Oh, how does it feel to come back and portray that character?
So exciting. It's like it's a family reunion, getting everybody together and we're all hugging, we're having fun, and then it's time to film the scene and wow.
You have a relationship with Miss Carey. How is it like on set, especially for season 2? What was that like coming back to the show?
We're besties. Absolute besties. Like it's so much fun because we did TikToks last season, so now it's like I wake up one morning ready to go to set. TikTok time.
Deals with a lot of some heavy topics, but a lot about family and love and a little bit of loss. What do you learn from being on set from filming the episodes?
Be patient because, of course, healing takes time. Um, Healing takes time. Perfection, I guess you could say, takes time too. So, yeah, that's what I really think.
Yeah, no, I love that you learned that. And also, you don't have to spoil anything, of course, but was there a specific moment from filming season 2 that you remember?
The dancing sequence was so fun. The full dancing, it was so cool. It was like lit lights and stuff and like fog machine going. It's so cool.
Good fog machine can get anybody out of a fog. Well, thank you. That's all I have for today. Thank you so much, Jordyn.
Edwin, I can't just give you a job.
And that's why I wrote my credentials down right there.
CPR.
I took a YouTube class last night,
Thank
man.
you. Hi, Marque. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How you doing?
Great, great. Well, Unprisoned season 2. Okay, first off, what was it like to hear the news that the show was going to be renewed?
A blessing, a lifesaver. Because also there were things going on in the world at the time where you didn't know who was going to make it, who was going to live, who was going to die and survive. So when we found out we were getting another season, I was ecstatic. I wiped the sweat off of my brow, said a prayer, and aside from just, wanting to refill my bank account, also just being able to come back and do this work that is meaningful to not only myself, but to everyone involved, and just be able to be a part of a project that tells the truth in a way that I don't think has been told before. So
Yeah. I mean, we all saw the end of season one. It was very poignant. Mal had to bail Edwin out of jail. And so I saw it as an opportunity to continue the story. How did it feel when you were back on set returning to that character and seeing that character kind of evolve for season two?
yeah, I just kept rooting for him, for Mal anyway, to just stand firm in his boundaries, stand firm in his yeses, and stand firm in his nos. And what I mean specifically is that mess of Paige. I was rooting for Mal. I was like, man, stand up, stand, stand up. So we'll see by the end of the season, will they, won't they? But it was, again, even though Mal is this confident, grounded person, he's still a person. And so, we're all perfectly imperfect. So it was cool to see Mal be able to put that situation on the side and still stay focused to his mission and commitment to Edwin and Edwin's success and Edwin's progress. Yeah, so that was cool.
Sure, it's never a dull moment working opposite Delroy and Carrie. What were the vibes like returning to set and like that professional relationship like off screen?
The vibes were vibing. The vibes were, look, I mean, again, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Carrie and Delroy are my Mount Rushmore. They are on my Mount Rushmore of actors, and just in terms of their business savvy, their art, their work, their commitment to who they are as people, their commitment to Black people, and the progress that they continue to push forward for us. So for me, this was like my second year of grad school, because season one, specifically with Carrie, I'm asking her everything I can think of, any question or whatever, in terms of her business, how she's able to do all that she's able to do. In season two, when season two came on, we showed up back to set. I said, all right, class is back in session. So if you want me to stop asking questions, just tell me to shut up. She never told me to shut up. And so if we get a season three, I'm gonna keep asking questions.
Oh my gosh, no, season three has to happen. And I fell in love with the show immediately after watching the first season. So to have a second season is a gift as a viewer.
He's bringing his girlfriend.
Maybe this is really good for me.
Or maybe it'll be a disaster.
So why did you and Mal break up?
Good, how are you?
Great. Well, let's dive in. I know you've done your fair share of live action comedy, drama, even animation. I wanted to know what made UnPrisoned the project that you wanted to work on. What moves you about being on this show?
I think at the core of it, the thing that's so exciting about this show is that it's not just a comedy to laugh. It's that life's at you. And then it's funny, like not every bad thing that happens in our life becomes this melodrama. And I do feel like in terms of storytelling for people of color, that feels like that. It feels like if you're going to tell a story about the struggles of being an Asian person or a Black person or a Hispanic person, it's like it's always entrenched with just like trauma porn. Like that's what it feels like. And I was like, that isn't life. Life isn't just either happy and hilarious or sad and sad. Life is both. And sometimes it's happening at the exact same time. And you don't know how to process. I don't know how many times really sad things have happened. And my only response is to laugh because you don't know what to do, or if you need it, you just don't know. And life isn't that way. And I think that's what's really great about UnPrisoned. It's that we're experiencing life as it is.
Yeah, I have to agree. And also what I loved about even in the first season, seeing the relationship obviously between Esti and Paige. I would love to know, like, what was it like building that rapport with Carrie and to have that translate on screen?
Harry is just like a walking hug. Like she's just a very warm person, and it would have been very hard to create this kind of dynamic, especially a foster sister, where we want to be very clear, they are sisters, they are absolutely sisters. And I totally understand, in just like a viewer point of view, it's hard to just build that if you just see an Asian girl, a Black woman. Like how do you you can't fake that. And she can have chemistry with a rock. She's just so warm. She's such a wonderful person. She makes you feel safe. She makes you feel seen. And that's exactly what I wanted with her. And it just made it so easy. It's really wonderful to see on screen, not just, oh, that they can talk to each other, not just friends, but even this season, you're going to see moments of them getting at each other a little bit, not crazy, but as sisters do, because that's the only thing that is what sisters do, which is they love each other so much that they can be so honest with each other and they're not afraid of each other.
Yeah, yeah. And also, like with most television today, we now that UnPrisoned is in its second season, there's more to experience within the universe of the show, so to speak. I really like loved your character and in a way resonated with Esti. I'd love to know, I guess, from your perspective of shooting season two, like do we see Esti change in any way, or does she stay similar? Like, are there any challenges that she has to overcome that we get to see?
Absolutely. I mean, in season one, we see her there as a support for Paige, but obviously, and that's also true about life, right? Like if you're going through something, it's pretty rare. Like if you're having a big change, like your father is coming to move in with you after being incarcerated, you usually stop to be there for that person. It's not like, wait, what about me? Like, you haven't asked me about my day. It just doesn't happen that way when someone needs you. And we saw that. We saw SC being her support, but she's also exists, has her own hopes and dreams. Now we have more time, and we're also getting to see that and also seeing how Paige's life is affecting Esty and inspiring her to dig in. So you do get to see that. You don't just see sisters being sisters in like a funny way. You see how it really affects her and how she's trying to change and how Paige sees that too.
Oh, I love that. That's amazing to hear. And I know some actors aren't too keen on watching themselves or watching episodes of series they're in, but for you, is that what makes this show even more fun to be in because you get to see it all kind of get pieced together?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, people cringe, but I think I've done this long enough to start realizing that I don't seem to always look like my characters. Like, I've definitely walked around set a couple times when I'm not in my Esty hair, Esty fits, and people don't know who I am. And I start realizing, like, oh, okay, move over. Like, move over, Meryl Streep. Who knew? Like, I was a chameleon, but like, so there's something about being able to watch myself where I'm able to sort of get out of there, and it's really wonderful to see how it all comes together. Everyone is so collaborative, and I think it just only makes you better, and that only happens in a really wonderful environment with our wonderful producers, our wonderful creator, and wonderful castmates to feel like I feel good, and I it's not about, I don't need to worry about this. I trust them, and so now I can learn and be better.
Oh, that's great to hear. Well, thank you so much. I'm so excited to have the season come out and for everyone else to see it. I tell my friends season is phenomenal, especially in this day and age. I'd love to know what the reaction was to the news.
I mean, I was thrilled. I'm very privileged. It's an honor to tell the story of this family. I feel like, especially after season one, getting so much amazing feedback from people who've had, returning citizens in their family, feeling like they've been seen and that, seeing themselves in it and getting hope. And even families who are not affected by mass incarceration, seeing themselves and feeling hope. Yeah, I mean, uh, it's a gift to be able to come back and do a season two.
Were there any challenges or hurdles with crafting this next season when it came to the storylines?
I mean, there are always challenges, but that's just part of the process, I think the story tells you what it's about. And I also know that I just wanted to focus on, I mean, my first idea was that Paige and Edwin go to couples therapy, but that quickly expanded to be like, actually, no, let's do family therapy. Everyone goes. Because there's the idea, the idea of doctor heal thyself, or the idea that you teach what you need to learn. So as a therapist, part of the reason often or sometimes people become therapists is because they're trying to work something out for themselves. And I wanted Paige to have to really, instead of being the expert who knows what's going on, I wanted her to be in the process of having to really look at herself in a whole new way, because now her dad is there to hold her accountable. And that was going to change her as a mother and as a daughter.
Yes, I love hearing that, and especially since this is such a remarkable cast too, just in terms of Carrie, Delroy, and even the kids. I wanted to know, did you impart any knowledge onto them prior to the start of season two?
I mean, not really. What's interesting about the actors is they are so good at what they do. And I'm not in there controlling every last, like, I don't think I'm the only person who knows what this show's about, or I'm the only person who can. I think they are geniuses, and I bow to them, their talent, their vision, and I do mine, and then they do theirs, and then every person on set, every writer, every post, is coming with their excellence, and we're all trying to do what's in the highest good. So if everyone does that and holds themselves accountable to that, this is what we have. And I just feel like that's the magic. It's not any one person.
Yeah. And obviously I don't want to get into spoilers, but is there a moment in season two that you can recall from one of the episodes that you're aligned with most?
That I'm aligned with most. I mean, there's a very wonderful, gosh, let's see. I never know the difference between a spoiler and just talking about what happens.
I know.
I would say I really love the Murphy character. In a way, he's speaking most directly what I would say to those characters. If they walked into this room and sat down, I'd be like, all right, guys, okay, Paige, you need to take a look at you. And really start to break it down, not in therapy style, because in therapy, you kind of have to figure it out for yourself. And if that takes years, then that's how long it takes. But Murphy's more of a coach. He's just like, let me just tell you what you're doing wrong, and then you can start working on it. I love his truth telling. But there's so much in season two that, yeah, we do a Christmas episode that I feel really, I watched the ending, the finished episode, and I got misty. Like I'm watching a show that isn't me, and an episode that I didn't write, but I did write it, but I'm still getting misty because it is encapsulating something about the experience of having a dad in prison and being a foster child that I have never actually seen before. And that it came through me. I'm like, I don't know why, but I am grateful.
Christmas episode, I'm totally down for that, so I'm super excited. Thank you so much, Tracy, for your time.
Thank you.